Yeah, Keaton, Hawkeye fans are definitely hoping for a big win against Minnesota this weekend, especially after the tough loss last weekend against Northwestern. And with football season in full swing, I can't believe I'm about to say it, but basketball is about to be in the mix as well. Iowa men's hoops had their annual media day on Wednesday afternoon, and Aaron Erickson has the recap.
Iowa men's basketball media day, and the biggest question on everyone's mind is how Coach McCaffrey is going to replace the 4 seniors he lost last season to graduation, and how Peter Jock is going to step up as the team's leader.
Really happy with Pete's development there, and as you know, it doesn't start Saturday when we officially started practice October 1st. It's kind of when the last year ends. And he recognized that immediately, and it wasn't easy because, as you remember, he put his name in.
I feel like I just got my whole body back, and also becoming a leader, something I haven't done in a long time. So,
whenever we had a workout, he was there early and stayed late, said all the right things to the young guys, and led that group both through example and verbally.
Pete definitely took me under my wing. Every time we do a drill, I'm always right behind him and stuff like that, and he's always watching what I do, make sure it's the correct way. So, I mean, obviously once I got here, Pete definitely took me under his wing.
A key theme across the board is that the players don't really see the freshmen as freshmen. They're picking up the pace quite quickly.
Actually, all the freshmen, they haven't really been playing like freshmen.
I mean, we knew we had a lot of new guys coming in, so it was going to be a bit of a learning curve trying to bring them along. But Pete's been fabulous so far as a leader, and just really setting the tone both offensively and defensively, and what the expectations are. And I've really enjoyed watching these guys develop and to continue to develop as the season begins.
The Hawkeyes open up at home on November 4th against Regis University. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this is Aaron Erickson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
We heard from head coach Fran McCaffrey a little bit with Aaron, but now we have Taylor Brooks standing by with the coach as well. Taylor?
Thanks, Taylor. I'm sitting here with head coach Fran McCaffrey. Obviously, the big talk is losing 4 of those seniors, but you got a young group, some experienced guys, but then, a lot of freshmen, 6 of them actually coming in. What's your plan moving into the season?
I think we have a great sort of blend of youth and experience. We've got, I think, a lot of different interchangeable parts. I think we have enough offense, enough three-point shooting. We have depth. Probably the biggest team we've had since I've been here in terms of physical strength and length. I think it's going to be a fun team to watch.
I'm excited for it. And then, of course, Peter Jock, his final season, can't believe it went by so fast. What have you seen from him, and how will he step into this big leadership role?
I'm excited for him because, he came in, he was the only freshman with an experienced team. So he didn't have those responsibilities, but he had great examples of how to prepare and how to win on the road. And I think that's what's impressed me the most. He's gotten the best shape of his life. He's really worked hard. He wants to be great. He wants to play at the next level. And I think our guys listen to what he has to say. He was involved in the recruitment of most of them. He was probably our best recruiter. He hosts our recruits. Everybody likes him. Everybody stays in touch with him. Guys that visited here, that didn't come here, they still talk to Pete. He's got that kind of personality, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
And then you also talked about the flip side of that with Dale Jones. How excited are you to get him back on this floor finally?
Well, I think most importantly, I'm excited for him. He's such a good player and such a good person, and he's been so patient. I mean, it's hard when you watch us beat the #1 team in the country here and you don't get in the game because you're injured. He was so happy for our guys, but wanted to be a part of it so badly. And to his credit, what he did was really stay true to his rehabilitation schedule. That's the hardest thing when you're anxious to get back, because with an ACL, you've got to be really patient. And he was, and he looks terrific right now, and I'm excited for him.
As Aaron mentioned earlier, the team kicks off their season November 4th against Regis University. Then they will stay home for their next 4 games. Well, tonight starts the 5th week of the NFL season, which means time is running out to set your fantasy lineup. If you're looking to bounce back after a few tough fantasy weeks or are looking for a good running back or receiver, our reporter Alec Giannakopoulos talked to 2 local fantasy experts for their takes.
The NFL season is well underway, which of course means more eyes will be glued to televisions across the nation every Sunday. While the athletes go through vigorous training sessions to get their body in prime shape every Sunday, they are not the only ones who spend the week preparing for football. Jack Brindley and Nick Olson are self-proclaimed fantasy experts, and they have the accolades to back up their claims.
I destroyed that league. I think I only had 1 or 2 losses, and I won a couple $100 because of that.
As of now, I would say I'm having a pretty good fantasy season. I'm 4-0.
And while they're having some great success so far this season, a lot of fantasy owners are not. So I had to make sure I went to Jack and Nick's room to ask them what a fantasy owner could do to turn around a bad season and reverse that 0-4 or 1-3 record. And I especially had to do this because my own personal team, the Gianna Cop Olympians, are only 1-3 so far this year.
If you're having trouble at the beginning of the season, it's probably because you're not setting your lineup every single week. What I do is during some of my lectures, I'll take like 10 minutes out and just look at some fantasy advice from around, the internet and just say, what can I do to make sure that my fantasy team is doing better?
I asked the two on opinions on solid running backs and wide receivers, two of the hardest positions to get right in fantasy football.
If you can get a starting running back that you know is going to get carries, that's a good option to go with, even if he may not be a star running back. Right now, I believe I have LeGarrette Blount in my flex. He's a running back that's going to be getting carries, going to be getting red zone looks, goal line carries, and possibly getting a touchdown or two.
For receivers, I would just go with, a team that has a good quarterback. So Matt Ryan, obviously, having an incredibly good year. And so I went for Mohamed Sanu, a name that everybody says, who's Mohamed Sanu? But when you have a player who has a good enough quarterback to produce those kind of yards, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point.
And with that, I'm off to adjust my lineup. Good luck to all those in Week 5 of fantasy football. Alec Giannakopoulos, Daily Iowan, TV Sports.
And we hope things bounce back for Alec's teams as well as your teams. In other Hawkeye sports news, 5 University of Iowa swimming and diving athletes earned Big Ten Conference weekly honors. For the women, junior Teresa Leonards was named the Big Ten Swimmer of the Week. Jacinta Thomas was tabbed as the Big Ten Diver of the Week, along with Hannah Burville being selected as Big Ten Freshman of the Week. On the men's side, sophomore Jack Smith was named Conference Swimmer of the Week, and senior Brandis Hefner earned Big Ten Diver of the Week. Both men and women's teams have their inter-squad meet this upcoming Saturday. Tune in for our football pregame show tomorrow morning. Keaton, back to you.